And this guy's like, what did you eat? And I'm like, I didn't know I was on this show, right? Like, I'm like, what do I eat, dude? Dude, everybody eats dick. I said, bro, I eat whatever I had to eat to get by, right? Like wieners, like that. And the guy licks his lips, and I'm like, did you just lick your lips when I said you eat wieners? And Grant, this is a faith-based show. I said, oh my God, dude. So, okay.
Okay, well, this is not a faith-based show that you're on now.
However.
This is Business Rockstars. I'm Mark Lack, and joining us is the one, the only. We've got Mr. Grant Cardone in the house. Pleasure to have you on the show.
I got incoming 10X bottles coming in at me.
I saw that flying in at the last second.
See you, man.
Good to see you as well. So we're going to talk about a couple things today. I know we've got a limited amount of time, but the main focus of today's topic is Undercover Billionaire. You can see it on the screen behind you there. This show is airing tomorrow, I believe. Tell us about the show. Why the heck did you do it? And what is the show about for those who don't know yet?
Yeah, so it's Undercover Billionaire on Discovery Channel. It's 8 p.m. every Wednesday for 12 weeks, where you get to follow 3 entrepreneurs. I don't know anything about the other entrepreneurs, but I do know that because of COVID, when COVID happened, it kind of interrupted their season of their how they were going to lay this out. Discovery had a big hit show last year called Undercover Billionaire with Glenn Stearns. They called me in January and said, we want you to be season 2. And I said, okay. I said, but look, it has to play in 2020. I knew the show, and I said, I'll do it. And I said, but a couple things is I don't want to build $1 million business in 90 days. I want to build a $10 million business.
Of course, you had to 10X it.
They were like, what? I said, I'm going to build a $10 million business in 90 days or less. I said, I demand to talk to Glenn Stearns beforehand because I just wanted to ask Glenn one question. I'll tell you what that is later. And then what happened was in January, we signed the deal. Late February, I went, and then it got stopped because of COVID. So it couldn't play this year because we couldn't finish shooting. I was interrupted for 3 months, and they had started shooting other shows in October, and we still hadn't launched. So what they're going to do, Discovery is going to launch this with their app, their streaming app, which is Discovery Plus. It's $4 a month. They're going to drop I didn't know this, but they have thousands of programs on Discovery, real quality TV. And they're going to dump all this content onto their stream, onto their Discovery Plus streaming app. And they're going to use Undercover Billionaire to launch their app. And it starts Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 12 weeks, you basically follow 3 entrepreneurs that go to these 3 cities they've never been to. And they start with 0. The 2 girls, there's 2 girls that you follow. They're trying to build $1 million business, and I'm trying to build a $10 million business.
Well, I guess we got to jump straight to it. Were you able to build a $10 million business in 90 days?
I came up short on my goals, but anybody that studied the 10X rule, basically suggests to have goals that you're proud to work for and wake up for every morning, but that you're happy to come up short on.
And we all know that if you were actually being yourself, leveraging your network, that would have been very easy to accomplish. But you had to shave your head and pretend that you were some Joe Schmo and had to start from nothing.
Well, so the show is based on the premise of the question of, hey, if you had nothing, this is the number one question that people ask me. If you weren't Grant Cardone, you didn't have the cars and the planes and the money and the real estate and the books and the social media following, what would you do? I watch the show.
So here's a question. Is that even a good question to ask? I think, the quality, really. Yeah, I was going to say, it's not really that good of a question.
It's not that great of a question, which is a great question, by the way. A great question is, are my questions even any good?
Yeah, exactly. Which is funny that's the question everybody asks you. So they need to start asking better questions.
It is the number one question I get asked. So if you didn't have everything, what would you do? Dude, I'd start over. I mean, I would do personally. I don't know what other people would do, but I know what I would do. So that when Discovery came to me and said, would you do this? I told my wife, I said, I'm going to go do this show. I just want your support. I said,
did you lose a bet, or what was the drive behind Grant wanting to stop doing his billion-dollar activities and his amazing life to
well,
go and do this?
well, this is what they said. They said, look, you can't use your name, can't use your contacts. You can't use your credit facilities. I said, okay, what are the rules? Any other rules other than that? Just tell me how the game works, okay? And just tell me what the barriers are. Tell me what the barriers are. I'll figure out how to win the game. And they said, you have 90 days. You cannot do business with anybody that knows you. If you get discovered, we can't use that. I said, okay, you can't reach out. You can't go back home to get help. And I said, okay, well, here's a couple things I need. Number one, I have 7 businesses that I have to continue to run. I don't know if these other people can just be dropped off for 90 days and they don't have something to run. I actually have real companies that, like, we did $800 million worth of real estate deals while I was gone. I'm not doing a $165 million deal through COVID without somebody talking to me.
So did that show you the confidence that your team can run without you needing to be there?
Yes, it did. But it also meant at night, I could do deals at night as Grant Cardone. So I was Lewis Curtis during the day.
Who came up with that name?
It was my dad's name. My dad's name was
okay.
My dad's name was Curtis Lewis. And
so you flipped it. Okay.
Because I was actually going there as Curtis Lewis. And then when I Googled Curtis Lewis, I'm like, oh, my name popped up because I had one of my books had the forward to my dad.
Your SEO is too strong with anything.
Yeah, well, not strong enough, but anyway, that popped up. So we just flipped it because that would get checked later. And so, yeah, so I said, guys, I still have to be able to run my other businesses. So they agreed to that. They understood that. But with the premise that I would not help myself, and I never did, by the way. And it ended up becoming a big problem between me and the crew, where the crew's like, because I got lost in this deal. I'll tell you right now, like, I became Lewis Curtis, no money, no credit, trying to build a $10 million business. Look, I got sick twice from altitude sickness, and I got COVID.
Wow.
And we got shut down. Like, every bad thing, everything that could happen bad to you happened to me while I was there, short of a car wreck and you know.
So you really dropped in and connected to what so many millions of people around the world are actually dealing with on a reality.
So like I'm so blessed to have done this show. I would never do it again, but I'm so blessed that much better connected to people that don't have anything and are trying to figure out where to start. So I am extremely, sensitive to people's situation. At the same time, because I went and did this my way, I am also even more emboldened to tell people to quit making excuses.
Yes.
Your no money, your no money thing is an excuse. Your no time is an excuse. Like, I know for sure, I've said that to people before, but now I know for sure it does not take money to make money. You don't even have to have anybody know you. Like, literally, you don't even have to have anybody know who you are, but you do need confidence and courage and creativity, and you need consistency, and you need some of those things that are so important.
So I've got a question. Was there 1 or 2 lessons that you took from this that you were able to share with your daughters? Or maybe it's still metabolizing inside and you're thinking about it, but
yeah, no. So, like, I mean, part of my daughters, I wanted to quit this 89 days in a row. And I thought I was going to be able to, I was so disconnected from how difficult this was going to be that I thought I was going to be able to bring my kids out within a week of starting this. I said, guys, let me just go there. I'll get set up and I'll bring you guys out there. I'll have you out there in a week. I mean, one of the agreements I made with Discovery that they were fascinated by was the 10 million, but also I'm gonna do this with my family. I said, I want to make this a family thing because I'm with my family. My family's part of my business, right? And they're like, oh my God, we're so fascinated by that concept. Well, I was in Pueblo for 7 hours and I called my wife. they ain't coming, and neither are you.
Mm.
Like, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to bring you here. And I wasn't actually, I wasn't able to bring them there for 86 days.
Wow. So you actually you were apart for that long.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and there's nothing that can prepare you for being away from your family. Like nothing. There's nothing. There's no mental conditioning you can do to say, I am not going to be with my children for 86 days.
You're like, that's why I bought the private jet, was so I never had to be apart.
Yeah. So like nobody brought that up, but like, that's a cool thing to say, because like, I'm like, man, I bought all this stuff. I got myself in a position in life where I can do anything I want. And now I go accept this dumb challenge where I can't do anything I want. Like how suicidal and sick am I?
So is there going to be any more TV that you're planning on doing that you can let us in on? Or did this just kill your experience of TV in general? Because I know you said it wasn't just the show, but it was also dealing with the crew that wasn't always enjoyable.
No, it was the show though. The crew wasn't the problem. It was the intensity of the shooting, like being someone else, like not, you know, I had to lie to people every day. I literally had to write it on my wall and memorize, my name is Lewis Curtis. No, my name is Lewis Curtis. My name is Lewis
You
Curtis.
still don't have it. It's still
Well, because I've said Grant Cardone so many times,
Yeah.
right? So many live streams, so many clubhouses. Yeah, the Grant Cardone here. You know, like I have introduced myself because of technology tens of thousands of times. Now I got to go to a place where I'm like, oh, by the way, my name's Lewis Curtis. On top of that, I have figured out somehow how to be me despite, and I think you'll understand this, despite people liking me or not liking me. I have figured out how to get comfortable being me. I know people talk about this all the time. Like, dude, you're so comfortable just people not liking you. So when you drop me off and I got to be somebody else, that's not how I built this mechanism that this thing I have is I get to be me. You know, Donald Trump has that. He's like, whatever, I'm going to do what I want to do, how I want to do it. And nope, I don't need anyone to support my insanity. Right. And so
I want to know, I imagine you got yourself mentally ready. You went in strong. You thought, oh, I'm going to crush this thing. And then I remember hearing you from doing some research that like the wind got taken out of your sails, and, you know, you came down from that probably confident high, like I'm going to crush this. This is going to be easy. And you came down. And then I'm imagining you came back up, because I remember you said you had a call with your wife, and she gave you some of that motivation. But when you were down, what is the Grant Cardone kind of ritual when you are down and the wind's taken out of your sails? What do you do to get yourself back up?
You know, I needed to tie up and just like, okay, what's at risk here? Like I'm always moving to the downside, the cost, the penalty, the pain. Okay, if I bail, I'm gonna know I bailed. I mean, I've been wanting to do a TV show for 10 years. Like I've been extremely vocal about it. I want to do TV. I think I'm an interesting personality. You know, maybe other people won't. I think they will. We'll see. We'll find out.
You've already proven it on social media at scale. So
yeah. So you know, and I want to do that on TV because I know TV is a different mechanism. It's an extremely powerful tool. And entertainment, I believe, is the way to educate more people. I was on the phone with Tyrese Gibson last night. He's like, what do you want to do with TV? I said, dude, I want to use TV as the front door to education. I want to trick people into learning while they're laughing and crying. And so when I wanted to quit on this thing 89 times, I just kept going back to, dude, you wanted this TV show for 10 years? This is what you wanted, bro. Now you got to stick it out.
Yeah.
Number two, you're gonna have to blow the top off of this thing so big that even if Discovery hates your guts, they're gonna want to do something else with you. And if they don't, Netflix is gonna offer you a deal, Amazon will offer you a deal. Somebody, I'd bet $1 million right now to anyone that I get another show out of this.
No doubt.
The next show will be the show I want to do. Not some show where I have to lose my name, because I don't want to keep losing my name. So, so how do I get back in the game? 3, my kids, man. I'm like, I cannot have my kids know I quit. They think I'm Superman. like I need to keep putting my cape on.
Yeah.
And you can't fly if you don't jump. So I wasn't going to disappoint them. I wasn't going to disappoint my wife. I was not going to blow my brand. That 10X thing, you can't run around with 10X on your chest and then act 1X. So these public demonstrations that I make force me to show up and do something. That, again, that's why I bet $10 million. That's why I said, no, I'm going to 10 million, not 1 million, because it ups the ante. I always say to people, look, man, put your money where your mouth is, and then put a lot of money there, and be loud. If being quiet doesn't work, then be loud and tell people I'm going to do this. But most importantly, I'm going to put my money there. I think it was JP Morgan that says, look, I put all my eggs in one basket and then I protect it. I doubt he said it exactly like that. I think he said it more like, I put all my fucking money in one place and then I do everything I can to protect my shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I put the future there. I tell everybody I'm going to do that. And then I got to go make that happen.
And that's kind of my, one of my big things and focuses is helping people leverage their personal brand. And you've done such an incredible job of that. One of the psychological reasons building a personal brand, I believe, is so important is what you just said. You have to put yourself out there. And the more you put yourself out there, the more people you kind of are like, shit, I don't want to let these people down. I don't want, and obviously family and friends and team members, but you're like, I got millions and millions of people looking up to me as the 10X guy. How am I going to look if I quit? So putting yourself out there with your personal brand is huge. You're able to use that as leverage against yourself.
Yeah, exactly. And most people don't understand that until they do it. If you've ever listened to anybody on Clubhouse or Facebook or Instagram, and you're like, God, that guy's so polished. Eric Thomas, my friend that just the eloquent speaker, what's the guy's name? The black dude that speaks, Les Brown. These guys did not sound like that the first time they pitched. Muhammad Ali, like, look at Muhammad. Muhammad said, I am the greatest. I am the greatest. He told people that, and then he had to show up in the ring and prove it. So I agree, man. But I think a lot of people listen to people and they like, oh, that guy's so articulate. He did not do that the first time.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to shift gears a little bit. I want to talk about in my mind, I'm excited to watch the show. But I'm imagining, how does Lewis Curtis or Curtis Lewis, whichever one it is now, how does he go into a place? How did you go into a place with a camera crew and people weren't like suspicious that here comes this guy who maybe kind of emulates Grant Cardone and has a camera crew behind him, but his name is Lewis Curtis?
So the way I did that, I didn't know I'd have to do that when I got there either. I wasn't thinking with that. You cannot prepare for this stuff. Like, if anybody listens to this and they take tips, like I can tell you some tricks, but when they told me, they said, hey, you need to explain the camera crew. I said, okay.
And they didn't give you any help. They were just like, you need to figure it out.
No, we're blah, 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 blah. I'm like, bro, please step back, step back.
Lewis Curtis has this.
Yeah, Grant Cardone has this. Ask Lewis Curtis, because Lewis Curtis didn't know anything, right? So, and that is an unfair thing here. Okay, I don't have nothing. It appears that I have nothing. But
you started over, but you still have all your knowledge. So,
like, that was the biggest gift from this thing. If nobody watches this show, I walk away saying, oh yeah, shit, I'm a bad dude. Like, I know now, like, you can stand on a stage and tell 50,000 people you can start over from nothing. Until you do it again, you're never quite sure that that's real. Like, you can take everything from me. You can't take me away from me.
Yeah.
And so I really come out of this extremely empowered, knowing that it's a real spiritual thing that happened for me in this event. But so the first place I was in a gym and I said, hey guys, I'm looking for this and that. And my name is, and oh, by the way, I ran into these idiots, this bunch of freaking liberal movie making people out in the parking lot that are doing some kind of documentary about Pueblo, and they want to know if they can come in. Personally, I wouldn't let them in. I don't trust any of them. I'm trying to get away from those people. So everywhere I went, dude, I did this big pitch about Los Angeles people, liberals, movie people, they're freaking jack. But I said, but they want to do a documentary on Pueblo. Probably be good for your business, but I wouldn't let them in if I were you. So it was a little pitch takeaway, you know, and it worked everywhere I went except one place.
We'll leave that as an open loop, open hook. People have to go figure out what it is. So I got a quick question. Who is somebody that's either a friend of yours or could just be a public figure we all know that you would love to see do this show and see if they can accomplish it?
Oh man, any guy that thinks he's the guru.
Not like a Mark Cuban or a Tony.
Tony,
Okay.
Gary, the Shark Tank guys, like any of them, dude. Like
Gary would go and do a garage sale or something. We know that. That's like his classic move, the garage sale.
And by the way, do it without them helping you. Go do it without them helping for legit real. Like tell the production company, stay out of the way. Don't do any pre-setups. Let them do their own deal for real. And if you bust out, you bust out.
We'll see if we can get Gary or Tony to do it. They won't do it.
They won't do it, dude. Look, I would recommend, if they called me up, I'd say, don't do it. Don't do it. It's I'm telling you, it's an ugly thing.
But then you say, but I think it'd be good for your business. You do your takeaway.
I know it's going to be good for my business because people see what I do. They're going to be like, I want my whole staff to be able to do that. I want my kids to be able to do that. I'm convinced that my episodes are going to be used in colleges as a study. What is it? Whatever that is. So,
yeah. I don't even know either, but it would be a good case study. It'd be a good case study.
A case study. There you go. See, I got half the word. You got the other half.
A good alley-oop. All right. What do you think is the best part of the show from a consumer's perspective if we were going to take something out of it? Like, what are we going to learn when we watch this? Like the best thing though, not like
the shower scenes with me.
The shower scenes.
These people are with me all the time.
It literally in the bathroom.
Yeah, they're with me all the time. I mean, when I finally got a place, there was ants in my shower. Like thousands.
What were you eating? I want to know that. I know we were laughing before the cameras turned on, but what were you eating?
I cooked my own food and I ate beans and rice for 90 days.
Just a classic go-to, beans and rice.
If I could get a piece of meat somewhere, I was at this produce farm and I'd get people to give me stuff and they gave me some meat and sausage. I got sausage from a guy once.
For free, or did you have to barter, trade?
I didn't spend any money, dude. Like I didn't spend any money.
You still got that $100 in your pocket right now from the beginning?
Oh yeah.
You're going to put that up on the wall? Like
I left with that $100.
Nice. That's actually pretty badass when you think about it. It's like, I'm keeping this. This is a good.
I never spent one penny of that $100 ever. And I did that to prove to people, look, $100 is no money and you don't need any money. Like you don't need money. They approved it. You don't need money. You need courage. You need creativity. You need a plan. You need a strategy. You need persistence. You need to follow through, but you don't need money. So they gave me $100. I walked out of that deal $100 richer than I left. And I walked away with a business that's gonna go on for years.
How did you go on?
And a business I think that probably is gonna be a big deal in the future.
Well, we're gonna all have to tune in to check it out. What did you do to make money? Was it Grant Cardone going and doing the late night show, or?
No, I couldn't do the late night show. No, I can't get into exactly what I did, but I had 2 or 3 plans. A couple of them were throwaways. But I will tell you, I was looking to do something with someone as opposed to starting something from zero.
Smart. I would personally, I tell people all the time, I would never start a company ever again from ground zero. It's the worst thing you could do.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
People are like, I'm going to start my own business. I'm like, you're stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
There's 34 million businesses in America. Nobody needs another one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my idea is so good. Dude, it's stupid what you're doing. Supply and demand. There's too many businesses in America now. Go find somebody who's already in business, already taking risk, already got credit, debit, and they're already spending money on it. Did they say yes? Okay.
We
And
got,
then
we got a $1 billion deal closing here, Grant. What's going on?
probably, yeah.
Love it. Well, I want to talk about 2021 real fast here. Obviously, we already all experienced 2020 in our own way. I know you like to say more people should focus on some of the blessings and the positive that came out of that, and I love that. We were jamming on that on Clubhouse. I think that's genius. Focus on where's the silver lining and the gifts that came out of 2020. But for 2021, what is the advice you have for people? I haven't seen anybody posting on social media like they always do. My New Year's resolutions, 2021 is going to be the best year ever. I think people are afraid to say that.
Yeah.
What do you think 2021 looks like? Is there going to be a recession? Is the market finally going to drop for real this time and not have a V-shaped recovery? What do you think it looks like?
Well, we're in a recession now. Like, you take away the $600, you take away the $2,000, you take away the PPPs, you take away all that, we might be in a depression. So now, if you're looking at the stock market, but that's not the American public.
Yeah.
People are so fascinated with their mask and COVID right now, they're not looking at their economic condition. We're probably in inflation right now and don't know it. All these things get reported later, by the way, like long times later. And so people are doing stupid stuff. Started with toilet paper. Now it's the rich people are buying homes. They always do this after big events. 9/11, they went and bought homes, second homes, third homes. They're doing it this time. The wealthy are buying Malibu and Arizona and ranches. Ranches are selling, islands are hot.
So why is that stupid though? For the people listening that don't fully understand,
because the everyday person thinks, oh, I got to go buy a house. No, you don't. The everyday person's not doing well. The everyday, businesses are failing. Restaurants and bars are going to fail. Retail centers are going to fail. Once this bump of people buying houses, rich people buying second homes stops, you're going to have a housing problem in America, and not a good one. Like, you're going to have housing pull back. It's going to drop because you're not going to have buyers. This is going to become a renter nation. It's going to accelerate like at levels we've never seen before.
So what does that mean from a real estate investment perspective? Where do you see
buy as many apartments as you can and pay a premium to get them because the rents are going to go up. It's just when now.
Yeah, there won't be as many homeowners. There'll be a lot more people moving into apartments, condos, and renting.
You're going to see 2 or 3 years of rents flatten, and then they're going to explode again. So because people are not going to be able to buy homes. I mean, you can't. The people that are just getting by can't buy a home now. If you couldn't buy a home before COVID, you definitely cannot buy one now. So $200,000 home will cost you $40,000 down today. It'll cost you a 30-year mortgage. The rate's going to be nothing, but you're not going to qualify for the loan because your job's not secure. So all that's going to change. The rich are going to get richer, bro. And we're going to have division. We're going to have so much. If you think the Great Divide was great before this,
Yeah, there's about to be less and less and less middle class. Literally, the last time we did an interview, I think over a year ago, you said, the middle class is going away and it's going to disappear soon. And 1 year later, here we are, and there's less and less middle class.
Yeah, it's the people are trying to saving money. You don't get paid anything. CDs get paid nothing. Your retirement accounts are at risk. The stock market's going to fall apart. It's going to crack so many people so hard. So those retirement accounts are going to pull back. The only reason the stock market is doing what it's doing right now is because money has no place to go. Nobody's dealing with the actual situation of the situation. The government's funding this, which means currencies are being devalued. 21% of all the US dollars were printed 2020, which means your money's probably worth, if it was worth $1 last year, it's worth 80 cents this year.
It's going to keep happening. So on that note, as we get to our end with a couple ft, quick questions,
You do a great interview, by the way.
Appreciate that, brother. Bitcoin. I got to ask you. I meant to ask you on Clubhouse the other day, Grant Cardone's perspective on Bitcoin. I'm so curious to see. Obviously, you're the real estate guy, but did you throw a little something into Bitcoin, or what are your thoughts?
I own 90 BTC, so I think it's
Okay.
90 BTC. Somebody gave it
Cool.
to me for some work I did, and it's worth 1 point. Let me see what it's worth right now.
It's
I look at it every day. I'm one of those guys. What do they call them? The holders or?
Yeah, hodler, HODL. It's stupid. Hodler.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not getting rid of mine.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, definitely don't. I mean, Michael Saylor put over $1 billion on it. I think it's 2 billion now. And he has a publicly traded company, MicroStrategies. They put half of their or all of their treasury reserves on it. He thinks it's going to $1 million of Bitcoin. So you should have $90 million right there.
yeah. So who knows? I mean, JP Morgan says it's worth $146,000 a bit. Like, I'm not going to go out and buy it. I'll probably regret not buying some, but
yeah,
it's not what I do. My wealth is created by hustling during the day, whether I'm selling $1 million contract to Nissan or $10,000 coaching to an entrepreneur, a class, whatever, and then taking whatever's left over and I dump all of it in real estate, dude. I'm a real estate junkie. It's real. I don't have to figure it out. I don't look at the valuation every day.
Yeah.
I know it's going to be worth more money in the future.
You got 90 of those, so you're set. Obviously, you're the real estate guy. Stay in your lane. Let's do one final question. What is the advice for the people out there making excuses and they are trying to decide, should I figure out how to make money online? Is starting an online business something I should do? I think everything's going digital. So I want to know Grant's advice for the person sitting at home watching this. Is it how mission critical is it that they figure out how to make money from home on the internet?
Yeah, everything's not going digital. And you guys need to learn how to go make money B2B. So got to remember when I went and did this deal in Pueblo, Undercover Billionaire, how can I do anything digital? I can't. I cannot go do a Facebook, a Zoom, an Instagram. I'll be discovered, dude. My voice, if I go in there with a bald head and my voice, I'm going to be discovered. All I got to do is show up more than once or twice. Somebody can be like, you sound just like. I couldn't use that. During 2020, I don't think Discovery as a company has really understood what happened here, but I didn't use digital while Zooming boomed. And then I went door to door and I built a phenomenal business during COVID. Door to door.
Always a contrarian. Undercover Billionaire Grant Cardone in the house. When does the show air so we can tell everybody to make sure they tune in?
Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Discovery channel. You can download their app. It's called Discovery Plus. I think it's going to start. I think if you got the Plus, they're going to let you start looking at the shows at 8 a.m. in the morning.
All right, you guys heard that. Wednesday. That's tomorrow.
I didn't tell you that.
We do not have this on camera recorded, so don't worry.
I signed an agreement saying I wouldn't tell anybody. This would be like the third or fourth legal violation I have with Discovery Channel.
Don't worry. We'll make sure we don't record this. Grant Cardone, thanks for stopping by, brother. Appreciate you. Everybody tune in.
Hey, great job.
Thanks. Bye, Grant.
Good dude.